How can you play an epic guitar solo that everybody's gonna remember? Let's find out. So the solo you just heard is actually a clip I posted a couple months ago on my Instagram, and so far it's got over 600,000 views and a lot of people seem to like it.
Nice.
And in the comments I got a lot of questions about how do I actually plan out my solos and how can I come up with a solo that is emotional and sticks in people's minds. And the thing that I realized is I never actually thought about this. I just go about my solos without even thinking about it. But since I've gotten so many questions about that solo topic, I thought it might be a good idea to revisit that solo, analyze that solo a little bit, and come up with 5 things that you need to consider when you want to play an epic guitar solo. So tip number 1, and this is going to be sort of the overall overarching topic for all these points I'm gonna make, just because it's that important, and that is serving the song. I'm gonna grab my guitar in just a sec, but I want to get this point out of the way because I think it's really, really important. So what does serving the song actually mean? What I mean by that is that we as guitar players, we tend to think often enough,
We can do whatever we want.
so do I sometimes, but I'm getting better.
Yeah, we can, man!
But we still have to remember a lot of what the song makes and what people will actually like about songs is the vocal and the chorus.
Don't chorus, get to the chorus.
But still, the guitar solo has a place in a good rock song. The thing is, we need to make sure that when we play a solo, we need to enhance the song, not play whatever we're capable of doing. Because whenever that happens, that just leads to the worst guitar solos ever. Then all the tapping starts, we start sweeping our way around like a... But that's not really what songs are about. In fact, it's actually the other way around. The song dictates what our solo can be. If the song is a slow song, that is actually what our solo should enhance and be based off of. Whereas if it's a speed metal song, we probably can't get away with just letting one note ring all the time. Actually, it would be quite interesting to hear that, but anyway, you see where I'm getting. So at the end of the day, when we zoom out, we're just guitarists, meaning we're just one part of the band. And we can use a solo to actually make a song better. But if it doesn't make the song better, what actually is the point of that solo? Whew, now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna grab a guitar, I'm gonna show you some more stuff. Alright, look at this beautiful, beautiful Nick Huber Surfmeister. No wonder it's such a joy to play guitar. So tip number 2, treat your solo as a story. It's pretty much a microcosm within a song, and that's how you have to treat it. When we talk about soloing over a song, we pretty much have to think about where do we want to start and where do we want to leave the listener once the solo ends. And now let's think about all the main ingredients to a good story. We have an intro, we have a base to the story, and then that story develops and it ends with a climax, right? And we should actually treat solos the exact same way. Where do we want to start with our solo and where do we want to end?
Grab them and like take him to this other place and then really take him to a higher plateau.
So let's just revisit what I played and see where the start and end points are. So this is my bass. This is pretty much the starting point to the story. I have a huge bend and then I'm hovering around the root note. And as this solo progresses, I'm wandering up the fretboard to actually give that story its development. Now I'm at the 12th fret already. and we're at the 15th fret. And then the chord progression just repeats itself and we start in the next octave, so we go up the fretboard again. All the way up to when I'm playing. So as you can see, I'm using the octaves and the places on the fretboard as I'm going up as a tool to build up the excitement, like in an actual story. And here is tip number 3 for you, and that is rhythm. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, Joey, I know. I mean, I'm not playing out of time. And of course you're not playing out of time, but that's not exactly what I mean. So let's go back to the actual song and see what the rhythm does, and then look at my picking pattern and what I'm playing in the solo. So let's have a listen first. Total 12 bar, right? Down, down, down. Dragging, heavy, slow. And that is actually one thing you need to consider before you start playing the solo. It's like, what is the overall feel and the rhythm of this song? And now when you listen back to what I'm actually playing, it kind of enhances that rhythm. So when I'm playing... You know, I'm staying in this regular stale blues thing when I'm picking, so all my patterns have this rhythmical element that kind of falls in line with what is being played in the rhythm section. So you want to make sure these things kind of add up a little bit, just so your solo feels more natural in the actual song. Because if I just started the solo by playing a couple of random fast licks that don't fall in line with that kind of tempo and rhythm, like... and play whatever I want.
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, right, Dave, but not in that situation. So make sure you consider this when you're playing a solo. Rhythm is important. Tip number 4, note choice. You know, I don't like talking about note choice. Why? Because I'm just a musician. I'm not trained. I didn't study that stuff. I can't read music. I'm just a feel player. I guess that's the number one excuse by any musician that can't read music, right? I'm just a feel player. But I love that excuse, by the way, because it's kind of true too. Anyway, note choice is important. Why? Because we need to listen to what is actually happening harmonically in that song. So I talked about this being a 12-bar blues, and it kind of is. But this very regimented blues progression actually opens up and goes into a minor thing. So once the rhythm guitar is playing this, is when I'm playing the entire minor thing here. If I play it anywhere before that, it doesn't have the same effect. So I'm going up along with the rhythm guitar. Actually, the same thing happens again in the next progression. Again, the rhythm guitars are doing the... and that's when I'm up here doing the... going away from the straight pentatonic approach to this. This is where my note choice goes from mainly pentatonic again to a minor scale to underline what's happening in the rhythm section. And that's why note choice is important. It just makes the song much more emotional if the solo is actually in line with what the rhythm guitars are doing. Last but not least, and I think we're all guilty of it, avoid overplaying. We as guitarists tend to overplay because we learned all these silly, crazy, super fast licks and now we want to show off, right? Now we want to use them in the real world. But 9 times out of 10, that is actually not beneficial for the song and it just sounds strange. You want to start off with your solo nicely and you want to keep some tricks in your bag until the very end to actually build that climax that we talked about. Or how Bob Rock would put it,
build rather than blow your load, bring everybody down, and then build it up again.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, Bob. Overplaying actually makes you sound like somebody who doesn't want to serve the song, and it makes you sound like someone who doesn't really care about the song altogether. So it's important again to understand your place in the band and in the song. Your solo should enhance the song, your solo should not take over the song. And that was my last tip. Don't overplay. And there we go. I guess that's enough for today. I had a blast doing this for you. Let me know in the comments what you think of these tips, and I'll see you soon.